Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I am back with my first video for my Hey Little Magpie blog post this month. And I have decided to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing Project Life spreads for this. Quite a few people commented on my sort of Project Life album flip through, which if you go back in my video list you'll see about how they enjoyed it. And I did used to do Project Life process videos, so I thought I would do that for this month's blog post. But also, as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, that I have recently come back from my holiday in the States, which covered about 3 weeks. And so what I'm going to do, and what I have done, is I've gone through my 2,500 plus pictures. Yes, I took a lot of pictures, and I've kind of picked out one of those for kind of like, a photo of kind of each day or each occasion or each event we done to include over the spreads. I did end up making 5 spreads, so yeah, there is quite a few that I'm going to do. So I am choosing to use the Summer Bliss, I think it's called. That's really bad, I can't remember what it's called. It's the new Simple Stories summer one. And what I am going to be doing is just, what I have done, is kind of already picked my cards and printed my photos. So now it's just a case of pulling everything together. I did try and limit my stash for this because I knew that I wanted to make it as easy as I possibly could. There you can see I just show you the inks I'm going to be using. I only have Stampin' Up inks, so which I have different colours in, and I actually chose 4 which matched in pretty well with the colours of this collection. So I am only going to have like this one title card, and as I said, that's going to cover week 27 to 29. And so I've just made that and slotted it in there. And as you can see, I do have my cards and photos put in the other slots. As these cards are cut from the cut apart sheets or the 12x12s, the different pieces, I am having to round all the corners of them, and I do round the corners on my photos for my Project Life unless they are photos of books or TV. Those I don't like to kind of cut down. It's just a thing. As I do in my normal Project Life layouts, I choose 2 or 3 washi tapes which I'm going to use throughout the spread to kind of make it cohesive across everything. And my process is quite simple. As I said, the thing I always find hard is doing the cards. So that is, as I said, that is a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. So once that I've got all that done, this is the nice bit, putting the cards together. So I am going to be using, of course, smaller stickers on here. I did, where possible, try and stick with the ones that came in the collection pack from Simple Stories. And I really love the tones of this. It does very much remind me of kind of, California kind of summer days. It's going to work really great with this selection of photos. And with these cards kind of having pre-printed elements on, you don't actually need to add too much on top of them. I had a few little details with stamps and washi tape and that, but actually it is pretty pretty simple. As you can see, just adding like that little camera stamp there, and that's an Amy Tangerine one. So I am mixing a few different pieces in. I also mixed, you will see later, but I've already used one, homemade flare, using some Ali Edwards stamps. Do go over and to the blog post where you'll see a list of everything I used. I am now going to cover up where I put that stamp down because I put it on wonky. So it's alright, you can make a mistake, that's fine. I'm just going to cover it up with a sticker. A little bit's going to show, but once my writing's on there, I'm really not that bothered. Lots of the cut apart sheets had these 2x2 different like little squares on, and my photos were printed just under 2x2, so they worked out absolutely perfectly for mounting my photos on. As you can see here, I do have some cards which have pre-printed bits on which I don't want to show, so there I'm using washi tape and sort of mounting the photos to cover it up. As I said, I am not too bothered that you know, you're going to be able to see little bits. But yeah, you know, in the long run, when there's writing and embellishments on, you're not going to actually see too much. Some of the cards I am going to be using the reverse side for, because there was not many 3x4 cards within the cut apart sheets. So where there were some and I couldn't decide what side I wanted to use, I actually just worked out that I could use both sides, because as I said, I'm kind of using a series of photos here. So in future videos you'll see me using kind of the backs of some of these cards as well. I always do like the fact that Simple Stories do give you these kind of smaller, I always like to call them mini market alphas, even though they're not, because it's that kind of size. It's sort of small tile one, and you got them in 2 different colours in here. I could have done with having more of these, because of course you're going to always run out of your E's and your A's pretty quickly. But yeah, I don't know, I think, you know, it's good to use them up. I think it's, you know, there's no point going, I'm not going to use them, because then I won't have them. So I did kind of use the philosophy of like, oh, once they're used up, I can, you know, try and use them for other letters, or just chuck that bit in the bin. You know, it's not going to be a huge loss. I'm using just my X-Cut corner rounder. I love this corner rounder. I use it on all my cards that aren't already corner rounded, if that's a term. So, and it just, you know, it just makes everything kind of match back and front. So I do pull out this stamp, and this is a stamp from Imaginescence. I brought it in I shared it in a recent haul. It is available on the Hey Little Magpie blog site, and I'm just going to use this crushed curry ink, which is, you know, going to give it not very kind of maybe noticeable on camera as much, but in person you can see it, and it just adds a little bit. Of course, we're on a plane, it's a plane wing, but you know, I just thought it just adds a little bit, and I knew that I wanted to put a little bit of journaling on here, but not loads, so that actually helped in filling a bit of space on that card. And I'm doing what I always do, and someone did comment about this, how I kind of pull the stickers out and stick them on my hands, and I actually noticed when I ended up, I think I've done 3 spreads one night, and then I've done 2 another night, and by the end of it, where I kind of keep poking myself with my pokey tool to pick them up, I had like loads of red little dot marks on my hands. I was like, what's happening? Have I got a rash? No, it's just where I've been stabbing myself to pull off stickers, so I need to be a little bit careful of that. But anyway, I digress. So again, these cards, again, I'm keeping it really simple. A little bit of washi tape. Love these little camera stickers as well. So that was a really simple card. And I'm not going to be doing journaling on all of them. And of course I am going to include some filler cards also. So I'm just choosing little bits here and there that I want to use. So this is one of the cards I knew I wasn't going to use. So I'm going to use my 1-inch punch. And actually make a little flare here. So I'm just stamped that up using that Amy Tangerine stamp. And using my 1-inch circle punch, which, you know, is really nice and simple. I was going to look at maybe putting a little heart or a little something in there, but I thought no. And I'm just taking one of those epoxy flare, which everyone's got and are amazing, and yeah. You know, and they are things that people have had hanging around in their stash for quite a while. They are, the ones I had were the ones that you used to put on those bottle caps, like altered art bottle caps. Anyway, so that's what I'm just going to be putting on here. I did take a bit of that washi tape, which I think is actually from an older one from Pink Fresh Studio, and I just tore that in half because I didn't want the full sort of piece, and that is actually quite nice because it's gold. It's a pink and orange ombre with a gold stripe, so that worked really well. I am taking some of those sort of tiny stickers, word stickers, and I'm just cutting them down because it looked a little bit chunky. And again, I'm going to be doing only journaling on this card, so it's not going to be a photo, so I just wanted to add that little bit. So now I'm getting to work on like the bottom cards, and again, keeping it where possible really simple. This one had a kind of design in the middle of that card, so I knew I was going to need to place my photo in the middle. And again, I've made a little epoxy flare there of a car, and that is again using the Ali Edwards stamps. And again, I'm going to use that quite a lot throughout the actual main album that I'm going to do as well. So it's just really simple, and it doesn't really need much more than that. Then I have this beautiful sunset picture, which was taken on the first night we were in San Francisco. I do apologise if you can hear that plane roaring overhead, you may not be able to. But yeah, this was a beautiful sunset, our first night in San Francisco. And so of course I had to snap a picture, even though I was so tired and I just crashed out in bed. I let I let the others go and get food and stuff like that. I just went to bed, and my boyfriend did actually bring me back some candy and some drink and stuff, so that was all good. But yeah, I had to take that picture before. I'm next pulling out a stamp set. This is of course an older stamp set, and I did get this off my friend Polly, but it works perfect, and I'm planning again on using this in my main 12x12 albums. So I wanted to make sure that there was some elements like those epoxy flares and those Ali Edwards stamps and things like that I am going to kind of carry on using throughout that bigger album. And of course I will make a note on one of these cards that, of course, if you want to see more about all these weeks, then there is a bigger album. To be fair, it's going to be albums. You know, I took over 2,000 pictures. I think now I've collected photos from other people. I think it's about 2,600-ish photos. Of course, I need to go and edit and kind of be more selective, because of course there's repetition from some of them that we've taken. But I decided, you know, for this to just not worry about that and just kind of pick my favourite pictures. So this card had a little space in there, so again I've used to use that stamp set just to pull that in. Again, and I just like that. It's just a really kind of simple bit. I'm going to be using the other side of that piece of tape. Hi guys, so this is the first spread all finished up, including the journaling. I'm really happy with how this sort of came out. It covers the first part of the week sort of before we actually flew out, then sort of the flight, and then like the first sort of getting there and then getting there, and then it goes on to the second day. So I'm just gonna bring it up here to just show you. And again, this is just one of the cards from the cut apart sheets, and this is the only title card I'm going to have throughout those sort of 5 pages. This is one of the flare I made, and again this is just using the Ali Edwards Travel Flare stamp set. And as you saw me show, I'm using all Stampin' Up inks, just because I don't have many inks, and those are the inks that match the colours of this. So I've got just a little bit about, I had to get a new camera before I went away. I had some new acrylics. Well, I had some acrylics, but I didn't have acrylics. I've been wearing other fakes. They are actually still pretty good. I have done a little bit of DIY infilling, but they are still looking pretty good. And I love how jazzy they look. Then again, this is another kind of simple kind of row. This one just doesn't have any journaling or anything on. This is just a photo of me and my boyfriend on the plane, which was actually taken by the one of the air hostesses. This is just a picture out the plane window, which is a little bit obligatory if you're going on a plane, and just using here that Imaginescence stamp, just kind of, it's kind of a nice subtle effect. Again, another little DIY flare here, and I am using the Amy Tangerine stamp set. Again, just layering up my washi tape, and this is about packing that case. And then this is kind of once we're actually in the States. This is when we arrived in San Francisco. Again, another little DIY flare there about the big SUV we had to drive the night we got there, and kind of then going into the first day. So I'm really happy with how this has looked. I think I am just going to have a little bit of a problem with letter stickers. I have pulled in these older October afternoon ones, again because this kind of orange matches really well, but I think I am going to have a few issues with that, because of course I only have these smaller alphas. I haven't touched these bigger ones yet, and I've still got quite a lot of these stickers here, so I think I'm going to be able to kind of get through using most of those. And the only other thing I did pull in is some of this older vellum. This is Doodlebug vellum, which I've had for quite a while, and I used it on my mini album project, so just use that to just layer up here. And I'm going to be using that circle punch, my little 1-inch circle punch, just to use my flair, but also just to kind of keep that little bit of repetition through. So this is the first of 5 pages, and I will be back in another video with the next layout. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you've got any questions, just pop them down below, and do pop over to the blog post where you'll be able to see all of the 5 layouts that I complete. Thank you very much, guys. Bye!